There's an exercise that many people ignore. Some call it simple, others say it's not good for building muscle mass, and some even believe it should be removed from training. But the truth is, this exercise has been present in the programs of the world's greatest athletes for decades.
Hey everyone, like this video, subscribe for more fitness tips, and share it with your friends. Let's get stronger.
We're talking about the leg extension machine. At first glance, it seems basic. You sit down, you extend your knees, and you repeat. Nothing impressive, nothing complex, nothing that seems worthy of attention. But that's exactly where most people are wrong. Because the most powerful exercises aren't always the most spectacular. Sometimes they're precisely the simplest ones. While many practitioners focus all their attention on squats, leg presses, and lunges, the leg extension machine works on something that few exercises can do with such efficiency: isolation. It allows you to focus directly on the quadriceps, the muscle group responsible for a large part of the visual volume of the front of the leg. And when we talk about quadriceps, we're not talking about just one muscle. We're talking about a whole set, a team, each region contributing to strength, stability, and aesthetics. That's why impressive legs are rarely built with compound exercises alone. There's a point where details make a difference, and that's exactly where the leg extension machine comes in. But there's a problem. Most people turn an excellent exercise into a common one, not because the machine is bad, but because the execution is bad. And when the execution fails, the stimulus disappears. The movement becomes just a weight swing, a repetition without intention, without control, without results. Observe any gym. You'll see people throwing the weight upwards, lowering it quickly, using momentum, racing against the clock, as if the goal were to finish the set as quickly as possible. But hypertrophy doesn't reward haste. Hypertrophy rewards tension, and the leg extension machine is designed precisely for that, to generate tension where it truly matters, in the quadriceps. Therefore, before increasing the load, before adding more sets, before looking for advanced techniques, you need to understand one thing. The value of this exercise isn't in the machine, it's in how you use it. And when you learn that, the leg extension machine ceases to be just another leg exercise and becomes a powerful tool for muscle development. But to fully understand this, you need to know the mistake that practically everyone makes when using it.
The biggest mistake on the leg extension machine isn't the weight. It's not the number of sets, nor the number of repetitions. The biggest mistake is forgetting the muscle. It sounds strange, but it happens all the time. The person sits on the machine, selects the weight, and starts moving the weight. That's it. Without intention, without control, without connection to the quadriceps. They believe they are training legs, but in reality, they are just moving a lever up and down. And there is a huge difference between these two things. Because muscle growth doesn't happen when you simply complete the movement. It happens when you create tension, when you force the muscle to work, when each repetition has a purpose. That's why more experienced practitioners seem to feel the exercise differently. They aren't just thinking about lifting the weight, they're thinking about contracting their quadriceps, about crushing the muscle at the top of the movement, about controlling every inch of the descent. And it's precisely on the descent that most people waste results. Observe a gym. You'll see people lifting the weight and letting it drop immediately, as if the negative phase weren't important. But it is, very important. In fact, a large part of the stimulus for hypertrophy happens precisely during the control of the descent, when the muscle continues to produce force while lengthening under tension. It's at this moment that many results are built, and it's at this moment that many people simply switch off. Another extremely common mistake happens at the top of the repetition. The person gets there and immediately returns, without a pause, without contraction, without extracting the maximum from the exercise. But think for a moment. If the leg extension machine exists to isolate the quadriceps, why would you give up the moment when it's most contracted? A short pause, 1 second, sometimes 2. That's enough to drastically increase the quality of the repetition. And then we arrive at the ego's favorite mistake, excessive load. Because just like with the bench press, many people believe that more weight means more results. Not always. When the load is excessive, the body starts looking for shortcuts. The hips move, the torso sways, the momentum appears, and the quadriceps stops receiving the stimulus it should. The exercise loses its main function, isolation. And when that happens, the machine stops working for you and starts working against you. The truth is simple. A perfect repetition with total control usually produces much better results than several repetitions done haphazardly, especially in isolation exercises, because in these exercises, quality usually trumps quantity. But there's a way to perform the leg extension that completely changes the feeling of the movement, a way that makes the quadriceps work from the first second to the last. And when you understand that, the machine reveals its true potential.
So, what should a truly efficient leg extension machine look like? It all starts before the first repetition. Sit correctly on the machine. Adjust the backrest. Adjust the rotation axis so that it is aligned with your knees. It seems like a small detail, but details build great results. Now hold the handles. Keep your torso stable. No swaying. No unnecessary movements. No cheating. From this moment on, the quadriceps needs to become the protagonist. Start the upward movement in a controlled manner. Don't throw the weight. Don't use momentum. Think about pushing the weight using the front of your thigh. Feel the muscle working. Feel the tension increasing. When you reach the top, don't rush. Pause for a moment. Contract. Squeeze the quadriceps. Make the muscle work as hard as possible. This small detail completely changes the intensity of the exercise. But the secret doesn't end there. Now comes the part that separates a common repetition from a powerful repetition. The descent. Control the weight. Resist gravity. Don't let the machine beat you. Every inch of the descent is an opportunity to generate more stimulus, more tension, more growth. It is precisely in this phase that many impressive legs begin to be built. And when you put it all together, control on the way up, contraction at the top, control on the way down. The leg extension machine ceases to be a simple exercise, and it transforms into an extremely efficient tool for hypertrophy, especially when the goal is to develop more complete quadriceps, more dense, more detailed. Because there's something many people forget. Impressive legs aren't built with just strength. They're built with attention to detail. They're built repetition after repetition, workout after workout, month after month, year after year. And that's precisely why experienced athletes continue to use the leg extension machine, even having access to all the equipment in the world. They understand that the exercise has a specific role: isolate, focus, exhaust, stimulate. And when used correctly, it does all of that very well. So the next time you sit on a leg extension machine, don't just think about the weight. Don't just think about the repetitions. Think about the quality. Think about the tension. Think about the muscle. Because often, what separates ordinary legs from impressive legs isn't a different exercise. It's a different execution. Now tell me, do you really feel your quadriceps working on the leg extension machine? Or have you noticed that you were making any of these mistakes? Leave your answer in the comments. Subscribe to the channel and share this video with someone who trains legs every week but isn't yet taking full advantage of the leg extension machine's potential. Because here, we don't just train harder, we train better.